Alright, today's lesson, we're going to do a little bit of learning how to play the whole, like, Jimi Hendrix, Curtis Mayfield lead rhythm guitar style. You're familiar with it in tunes like Little Wing and Castles Made of Sand. And what we're going to do is we're just going to learn how this stuff works with a major chord today. Just a couple simple licks. Now, we're going to start off with an A major bar chord. You can kind of see where I'm on the fretboard. Barring my first finger at the 5th fret, 3rd finger on the 7th fret 5th string, 4th finger on the 7th fret 4th string, 2nd finger on the 6th fret 3rd string, 1st finger is barring all the rest of them. This is kind of our home chord for this, and we're just going to have a couple licks that we're going to use for this. Now, if I was this sort of thing, that's kind of what we're shooting for, is going to be kind of some phrases like that. This is probably going to be a multiple lesson deal, because what I want to do is give you some of the basic major chord ones. We'll do some minor chord stuff in the next video. So we're starting off with this A major. Now the first one, the very first little lick we're going to do, you're barring your first finger on the 5th fret, 1st and 2nd strings, and when you hit the strings with the pick, you're going to be hammering on the 2nd string, 7th fret. So the pick stroke and the hammer on happen kind of at the same time. You can do it, you can pick each note. A lot of this stuff sounds really cool if you do that kind of near simultaneous pick and hammer on or flam. Alright, what I did right there is I just played the first string and then the 2nd string with the 3rd finger, picking both strings. Alright, a lot of this is that you've got this chord, and over top of the actual chord shape, what you're doing is you're picking out the other scale notes, kind of in the major pentatonic or major scale that work well with this. We're not going to get too in depth today. Today is more just about giving you the basic vocabulary. Alright, so we've got our first little lick. Alright, once again, right there. Now the second one, this one always kind of gave me fits when I was starting to play. Alright, and what you're doing, you get your first finger on the 4th fret 3rd string, 2nd finger on the 5th fret 2nd string, and then you're going to hammer your 3rd finger onto the 6th fret 3rd string. Alright, so we get these phrases. Nah, give you a little bit different angle here. Right, so that's one of the next ones that we're going to do. And that's another one of those where you pick and you hammer on. You can also do a hammer and pull with it. Like that. There's just a lot of stuff that you can do to phrase it. You don't have to play it exactly how I'm playing it. The important thing is that you're getting 2 notes at a time, and together they're kind of making chord sounds. Alright, now this one, I did this bit that we just played, 4th fret and 5th fret. Hammer on with the 3rd finger on the 3rd string, 6th fret, and then play the A, the root, on the 7th fret, 4th string. Just grab it out there with the pinky, and then and then did the hammer on again with the 3rd finger. Alright, so you kind of get little licks like that. Alright, so that's that first little position there. One other thing that's kind of cool to use is in this position here, we've got this little box of major pentatonic sounds or major sounds where you go 6th fret on the 3rd string, 7th fret on that string, and then 5 and 7 on the 2nd and 1st strings, and just playing everything kind of together. You get that nice little suspended chord. Remember, this is all still an A. Right? This right here is the chord. This bit that I'm playing here, 1st finger bar in the 1st and 2nd strings, the 5th fret, and then your 3rd finger here. And this note, the middle finger on, that's the 3rd of the chord. That makes it major, or if we wanted to lower it a fret, we can make it minor. You also bar all the way across there. Now, when you make a suspension, you're playing the 4th or the 2nd, and what we're doing right here, kind of like in Axis Bowl to Love, he tends to do that sort of thing. Also in Wind Cries Mary, I think he's also got a lick. Right, so you've got all of this stuff right here that you can use, and as long as you're kind of holding at least 2 or maybe 3 of the strings together, and you have that movement happening in there, you get that sound. Alright, so you've got the position, we've got the first one we learned, the second one, along with that note, and then we've also got this little bit right here. Right, and that little lick right there, I'm doing the first hammer on, open on those 2 strings, or not open, but 5th fret on those 2, and then 7 and 6 on the 3rd string, and then the root. And if you think about it, that right there is just an A major chord. The idea here is that you're always kind of making a chord with this stuff. All right, a lot of the Hendrix stuff, he'll play these chords where he's using his thumb over the top of the fretboard to play the note on the 6th string. Instead of playing a full bar chord, you almost never see him do this sort of thing. He usually uses his thumb, and then he's got the rest of the chord that we were just playing there. This is just the A major chord. 1st and 2nd strings, 5th fret, 2nd string on the, 6th fret on the 3rd string, and then your 7th fret on the 4th string. All right, and he can get melodies here with his pinky. 7th fret on the 1st string, 7th fret on the 2nd string, and the 7th fret on the 3rd string. You get all that kind of stuff. You can kind of see how I'm just kind of strumming the whole deal there. So that's kind of that little part of the chord right there. Now, the bottom part of it, if we're still here, and that 6th string root A, which go on the 5th fret, you've got this little major pentatonic box that you would sometimes use, and what you've got is 5, 7, 9 on the 6th string, 7, 9 on the 5th and 4th strings, and you can take your first finger, right, and hammer on the 9th fret on the 5th string while you're holding the 4th and 5th strings with your first finger at the 7th fret. And do the same thing on the 6th string. So all in this A. So you get all that kind of stuff that you can do. Alright, the last thing we're going to do with this particular chord shape is we're going to take your first finger, and you can take that bar right there. Alright, and what you're doing there is you're just sliding the first finger on the 1st and 2nd strings up from the 5th fret to the 7th fret, and then back down. And then this bit from our second lick, we've got the 4th fret on the 3rd string, 5th fret on the 2nd string. You can slide those too. I believe Jimmy Page does this in maybe it's 10 Years Gone. One of the Zeppelin tunes, he does it. It's a great lick where he does that kind of deal. But you also have that also. So you got. So you have all those things that you can do just on that chord. This lesson, being a little bit long, we're going to cut it short right here. And then the next lesson, we're going to do some stuff with the 5th string root. And then also we're going to have some minor chords. We'll be doing some of that kind of stuff too.